Hi, my name is Avinash and I'm here to review, provide some feedbacks on JAYADEV Memorial RASHTROTTHANA, which is in Nagar. To start with, my mother had few orthopedic issues and she got admitted in the JAYADEV RASHTROTTHANA Hospital, and she had a fractured bones, and the case was being attended by Dr. Sujendra, the orthopedic doctor, and his team. I would appreciate the orthopedic team or Mr. Sujendra for taking care of my mother, who is Kasturi Ratnakar Rao. She was hospitalized for the period of 10 days here, and there are few highlights, or there are few appreciations which I would like to share, to the hospital. The first one would be the doctor's team. As I said, Mr. Sujendra and his team, they had carried out 2 different surgeries for my mother, and I really, they ensured that the patient was not in stress, and in turn, the surgery was carried out successfully. I would also appreciate the nursing staff for taking care of my mother for the period of 10 days. They ensured that the patient needs were met whenever there was a requirement. And adding to that, the housekeeping staff also ensured that the ward's cleanliness and the washrooms are neatly maintained. I never found any issues or concerns over that. And special thanks to the staffs, the billing department. They ensured that they proactively updated me the billing status whenever I had required. They were able to explain me the in detail billing summary during the time of discharge. As I said, I would appreciate the billing department as well. Overall, it was a good stay. I never found out any issues or concerns with the hospital, and I would highly recommend others to visit the hospital for what are the treatments that needs to be taken care. Thank you so much.
I am Dr. Sujendra. I am an orthopedic surgeon at Rashtrottana Hospital, Bengaluru. In this short video, I would like to discuss a case of a 60-year-old woman who was brought to our casualty with the history of slip and fall at home. X-ray revealed comminuted intra-articular fractures of the lower end of the humerus and lower end of the radius. Now, the word comminution means that the bone is broken into multiple fragments, and the term intra-articular means that the fracture is extending into the joint. In this case, the fracture was extending into the elbow joint and the wrist joint. Now, this patient was admitted under the Department of Orthopedics at Rashtrottana Hospital for surgical management of both the fractures. She underwent open reduction and internal fixation of both these fractures on 2 separate occasions. First, she underwent fixation of the fracture near the elbow joint. The fracture was fixed with plates and screws, and the articular surface of the elbow joint was recreated to achieve good range of movement. A couple of days later, she underwent a similar surgery for fixation of her fracture near the wrist joint. The fracture was again fixed with a plate and screws. Now, these type of injuries are common in the geriatric, meaning the elderly population, where a trivial fall may cause bad injuries, bad fractures. They can injure their wrist joints or the elbow joints or the shoulder joints, and more commonly they tend to involve the hip joints as well. At Rashtrottana Hospital, we are well equipped to handle such cases and bring a good functional outcome in all these sort of patients. Thank you.
ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೋತ್ಥಾನ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯು 160 ಹಾಸಿಗೆಗಳ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸೂರಿನಡಿ ಆಧುನಿಕ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಪದ್ಧತಿ, ಆಯುರ್ವೇದ, ಹೋಮಿಯೋಪತಿ, ಯೋಗ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗಳನ್ನೊಳಗೊಂಡ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯವಿವೆ. ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಮೂಲಸೌಕರ್ಯ, ಉತ್ತಮ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ, ತಜ್ಞ ವೈದ್ಯರು ಹಾಗೂ ಇತರ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. 19 ಜನರಲ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು, 72 ಸೆಮಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು, 11 ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು, ಹಾಗೂ 17 ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿದ ಸಮಗ್ರ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಮೂಲಸೌಕರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯವಿದೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡ ರೋಗಿಗಳ ಬೆಂಬಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದಾನಿಗಳ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ನಿಧಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸುವ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಸ್ಲಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಉಚಿತ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೇವೆ ನೀಡುವ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಅರಸಿ ಬಂದವರಿಗೆ ಮಾನವೀಯ ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಆರೈಕೆ ನೀಡುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ಉತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ ನೀಡುವುದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯ ಆಶಯ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೋಗಗಳಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಂತ ಸಮಾಜ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣವಾಗಲಿ ಎನ್ನುವುದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯ ಉನ್ನತ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ.